In his 13-minute address, the Prime Minister was blunt. Government has no money to pay public sector workers the 7.5% increase due this month. Stephenson King was also critical of the Trade Union Federation, which he says has rejected government's proposal without coming up with any solutions of its own. But the address featured some inconsistencies in government's policy position, with King positing 3 options for resolving the current impasse, including retrenchment, while at the same time insisting his government would not cut staff.
Foreign initiatives could become necessary at this time. 1. Borrow more money. 2. Cut back on expenditure. And 3. Reduce waste. I said earlier that we intend to preserve jobs of public officers. But if forced, we will have to review this policy decision.
While vowing not to politicize the issue, King revisited the public sector union's decision to accept a 7% increase over a 6-year period under the Kenny Anthony administration, while holding his government over the barrel after it has been paid out a similar percentage increase over 2 years.
That in 1997, when the former administration assumed office and indicated to public officers that things were bad, not with the world, but rather with St. Lucia alone, public officers were forced to accept 0% in 1997, 0% in 1998, 1% in 1999, 1% in 2000, 2% in 2001, and 3% in 2002.
Opposition leader Dr. Kenny Anthony is rejecting the suggestion that his St. Lucia Labour Party is behind the workers' action. Dr. Anthony criticizes government's handling of the impasse, but says the SLP is avoiding the fight deliberately.
We believe in these matters that the civil society organizations have their own agenda. We have our own agenda. And it was our view that under no circumstances must we engage in this public dispute, because we did not want to compromise the public service unions in any way, or for that matter compromise the best interests of the St. Lucia Labour Party. The fact of the matter is that there is outstanding leadership in all the public service unions, and they really don't need the help of the St. Lucia Labour Party to look after their business.
But it's the decision not to pay workers before the unions were consulted is what has public servants so upset. However, the Prime Minister suggested that budget preparations and attempts to pay workers is what kept him from reaching out to the unions earlier.
The government of St. Lucia, from the very beginning, monitored closely these dramatic developments in the world economy. We were in a budget exercise trying to juggle figures, and it was only when it became absolutely clear that the figures were not adding that we decided to invite the Trade Union Federation as a last resort. I was acting with goodwill and honest intentions.
As a sign of good faith, King announced that his cabinet was taking a pay cut to demonstrate that things are as bad as they are making them out to be. But the size of that cut has not been revealed. Clinton Reynolds, HTS News, Channel 4.